Okay, we are at the last day of homework, Thursday. We're doing problems 58, 59, and 60. Again, just a reminder, we're in the green packet still. We're finishing it up this week. 58 is about volume, and I'm going to give a brief overview because in this problem they have mixed together volume of triangular prisms and rectangular prisms. So you're going to really need both formulas. In general, the volume is, and so let's say, overall, the volume is volume equals the area of the base, okay, times the length or the height, depending on how you stand up your figure. In the case of a right triangle prism, right, this right triangle, we find the area of that is the base, and it goes all the way through. See, this is a stretch of triangles. It's one triangle lined up right next to each other all the way through, 18 inches worth. So that actually is the base. The base is the shape that follows through everything. So in this case, I'm gonna set this up the equation. So the area of the base, the volume would be, the area of my base is 1/2 times 12 times 9. That's my base. That's my base. I have height times base 1/2. So triangle is the bottom times how tall it is, what the height is from the bottom to the highest point, 1/2 of that. Okay, and then I would multiply it times the length or the height, which is 18. So that would give me the volume of this. And I'm going to finish this all out because you'll get plenty of chance to redo this in the problem. So this would be 1/2 times 108 times 18, which is going to be 54 times 18, which would be 972. Now, I want to make sure you understand that in the problem it says, what of those shapes would be exactly twice? So I'm going to have to multiply this times 2. This is going to be 2 times, and so the volume of whatever shape I pick is going to have to be twice 972. Okay, so, this is also a reading problem. Okay, now I want to look at the volume if we were doing a rectangular prism, which they have bunches of. Okay, and so I'm going to, just quickly draw one here. And so this is the base. This is the base. Okay, so I have length times width times height. And so I'm going to make sure that I have, when I'm doing the volume, which you did, this is a 5th grade concept. You're going to do length times width times height. And I think you guys have this down. A lot of you confuse this with surface area, but we're just doing length times width times height. So in your answers, you have a choice of 2 triangular prisms and 2 rectangular prisms. And remember that you are finding the volume that is twice 972. Okay, now we're going to go to 59. 59 is talking about a publishing company, and this is actually a very true thing. And I have actually bought books with errors in them. I don't know how that works out, but they're saying that the publishing company has 24,000 books published, and they have a rate of 3 or 4 books with errors out of every 3,000 books. Okay, so I'm gonna do. I know that's so I have 24,000 I'm printing, and out of every 3,000, I have 3 or 4 books that have errors. I know that the amount of books I'm printing is 8 times more than the ratio they're giving me. So the 3,000, for every 3,000 books, I have 3 and 4, but I'm printing 24,000, which means my ratios have to increase by 8 times, which means that to find this new range, I have a range here of 3 to 4, I'm going to have to increase that range 8 times. And then I can determine which of those numbers, 8, 7, 12, 31, or 36, are going to be in that range. But before I can find an answer, I have to increase my range because they're only giving me a range for 3,000 books, and I'm printing 24,000 books. Okay, I'm moving to 60. And in this case, it says there are, this person, Amy, same name as Mrs. Neidel. Amy can do 1/10 of a scarf. She can knit 1/10 of a scarf. And I'm so jealous of people who can knit well. I can crochet, but my knitting is hideous. 1/10 of a scarf in 4/5 of an hour. Now, the first thing you need to do is you need to figure out what they want. Do they want to know how long it takes to do one whole scarf, or how much of a scarf you can do in 1 hour? And this problem says we need hours. We want this to be 1 hour. And we learned and went over gazillion times that, and you have done this before, that if I'm taking a fraction and I want to get it to 1, I want to know what am I going to multiply times a fraction to get 1. I know that what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply by the reciprocal. Because a number times a reciprocal, its reciprocal is 1. You notice here I would get 20 over 20. And 20 over 20 is going to be 1. So I'm going to be multiplying by a reciprocal. We also know that if I multiply one side by a number, I have to multiply the other side by that same amount to keep the ratio in proportion. So you're going to have to figure out what that left side is, remembering that I want to increase each side or multiply each side by 5/4 because that is the reciprocal of 4/5, and I need to get to 1 hour because that's what they're asking. What fraction of a scarf can Amy knit in 1 hour? I don't know. We'll have to see. Let's see how Mrs. Neidel's knitting is. Okay, great job. And so once you finish these problems, you're done with the homework for the week. Awesome.